Please join me in this prayer by lowering your eyes and hearing the words of the divine. In the beginning, God and no thing else. Whatever God is, it is a power, a presence, a light, a life. It is a love. And when God chose to create, God created only out of itself. And in that creation came time and space, universe layers, the heavens, the earth, and the ability to vision beyond the horizon. God thought and made me. God thought and made each one present right here, right now, or at some point in the future by hearing these words. Standing on this holy ground, I claim and accept that the vision beyond the horizon is a manifestation, allowing me to see what is unseen, allowing me to create what is yet to be created. God manifests as me in every moment. And that allows me to see a world that can be different, a world where harmony exists, where everybody has a triumphant return, where everyone is celebrated, where everyone is a champion. I know right here and right now that I celebrate this Palm Sunday, knowing how special it is, for it is on this holy day, in this now and ever expanding eternal moment, that I simply give thanks, knowing the truth of each of our beings. We showed up because God showed up first. And together, we changed the world in miraculous ways. Because we saw beyond the horizon into a world, a universe of possibility. I boldly claim and demand that these words collapse into physical form, for this is the truth. And so I let it go, and so it is. Amen. I demand that these words collapse into physical form, for this is the truth. And so I let it go, and so it is. Amen.
Sacred love. the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart, and I will always. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God. And so we allow ourselves to rest in that message, knowing that I am, you are the face of God. And so as we breathe into this truth, this beautiful truth, I know there is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence. I call this intelligence, this presence and power God. It goes by many names. This is the name that feels most comfortable for me. It feels like it expresses my belief system. It expresses the grandness of the word God. Knowing that I am that which God is, knowing that God resides deeply within me by its very essence, knowing that I have all that God is, it is available to me in this grand field of potentiality. I know that this is my truth. My truth is such that I am capable of all goodness. I am capable of doing all right things. I am absolutely divinely held in this process, knowing that, quite simply, as God is, I am. And so I speak my word in this moment to know and affirm that God is present in this moment and every moment thereafter. Knowing this, I know that God is present throughout this service, dwelling deeply within the message that is being given today by Reverend Stacy. Knowing that there is a desire to inspire, a desire to connect, a deep desire to be heard and listened to by those who are hungry for and interested in and curious about what is being said, whether or not that is taken within. This is my truth, and I am very clear that all who have come in here today have come with some sort of curiosity. And so it is my prayer that that curiosity is satisfied, that curiosity will take them out through these doors, each and every beautiful soul who has chosen to enter them into a greater experience of being. I am so grateful for Yvonne, Julius, and Caden, who take this message and so much more about our service out into the greater world. I am so grateful for everyone who has chosen sacred service through their volunteering, through just showing up, making the coffee, setting the tables, being present for a hug, and how is it going for you today? I am so grateful. I am so grateful knowing that underneath all of this and so much more is God. And so I simply release this truth into the law, knowing that as I have spoken, it is done according to my belief. I let it go, I let it be, and together we all join in heart by saying, and so it is, now and forevermore. Amen.
And that's why they call her Reverend Franny. It's so beautiful. And thank you, Sabrina, that magic voice, for that centering. Come! 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 Come on! Come on! Come on! All right, here we go. Everybody, get up on your feet, yeah. See the light in everybody you need. I do. Everybody, get up on your feet, come on. See the
God bless America and the rest of the world. And just turn to a neighbor and say, I see the light in you.
I see the light in you. See the
All right, everybody. We got a few things to do. Hey. All right. You know, Passover Eve is Friday, right? Yes. So, and it's Good Friday. It's a lot of stuff happening. The next couple of weeks, we have a video to show you. Thank you.
Yes, we do.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The annual crowd's shuffled in. There's a Zadie sitting next to me, making kiddush for all of his kin. He says, "Sons, do you have any inquiries? Like why we trade bread for mutton? And this store we eat, dipping bitter and sweet, and why we don't keep the door closed." Mama, nishtana. La da di da. God set us free from the Pharaoh man. That's why we rejoice tonight. And Jews all pursued by the enemy. With God's help, it turned out alright. Nation of Israel was tired and sore, praying for redemption someday. Moshe Rabbeinu came and burst through the door. He said, "Hey, let us out of this country." And saying no to God, we're all the pagans. You ought to know by now. All that hard work gave us broken backs, and then we were gone in a hurry. Well, the Pharaoh, he changed his mind. Yeah, we're headed down. Well, took his bird, cameras up, it's time to move out. Moving out of Egypt. Ooh, oh yeah. Clean the house, change pants, strangers in a strange land, celebration, Jewish liberation. Reading from the Haggadah, Adirhu and Chagadah, 10 plagues, 4 sons, who knows one? I know one. Keep the house clean, Father buffer to Zuzim, get believers in Kedem, next year in Jerusalem. Dainu Charo said, we saw all of our Khalid. Tell me what is all this for? I can't take much more, my road. God set a bush on fire. Moses saw it burning, so today we're learning. God set a bush on fire, and when we are gone, we'll see the flame burn on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Buckles are red, buckles are white. Tonight is different from
to Abby and Annie that always send these videos for us. They're so much fun and educational, and no matter where you are on your spiritual path, you're always welcome here, and we love you. Oh, and Joe, we have gifts to give out.
Yes, absolutely. Who's here for the first time? Wearing that hat. I love that hat. How'd you hear about us?
I was looking for you.
And you found us. Thank you. Thank you.
That's how that works.
Yes.
From over the pond.
Yes. Welcome. I know how you heard about us. She brings her friends. We love it. Thank you. Anyone else? They're pointing. Hi. How'd you hear about us?
I usually come to Unity, but I can't stay for the Unity service today, so I'm coming here.
Well, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Awesome. Thank you, Unity. Awesome. You know, we have a very good friend of this center who's leaving us, and I'm not going to cry. And the Seeleys, Sharon Seeley, wanted to bring her a cake, and we'll have that after service. But we also created a chair for her. And it says, this is one. Okay. And I had it made, so I don't know why I have to look at it. It says, the love of LVCSL, Kathy Biotti.
So much for all that you do. You're the best.
So I need 5 more of you to step up, because that's how many it's going to take
25
to replace
or 5?
it. Oh yeah,
I
probably
think
25.
Yeah, 25.
Thank you, Kathy. We love you.
Love you.
We're going to leave it up here.
Oh, such a beautiful thing for a beautiful woman. Well, I think we've all seen a couple of sides of different things, and I'm sure Kathy has, and I know that we have. This song is beautiful. Thank you for recommending it, Reverend Stacy. It's called Both Sides Now. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I could have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds, illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know that. proud and saying I love you right out loud. And illusions are nothing now. Don't give yourself away. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I changed. When something's lost, when something's gained, in living every day. I've lived a life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all.
Stay Ken. This is the only.
Look at all of this.
This is the only thing.
Look at all of this. I really have arrived now. Thank you both so much. They didn't want me tripping, and yeah, not a good Easter celebration thing kind of going on. Thank you, Patty, for that song. You do such a beautiful job. Yeah. So happy Palm Sunday. I don't know if that's what you say, but it's Palm Sunday, and we're all happy. So yes, happy Palm Sunday. And if you're not, then get yourself happy. And let's move into that idea of just realizing our own magnificence, right? You know, Palm Sunday is one of those days that I didn't grow up knowing much about growing up in religious science. I didn't really think one way or another about it. But before I get to Palm Sunday, let me say this, before you crucify me. I have another week, I guess, so maybe. But, you know, I made a mistake, and I wanted to clear this up to you. Last month, February 28th through March 31st was Ramadan. And we normally show a video just as education, and just so we celebrate everyone and everything, and I didn't do that. And specifically because of all that is going on, I wanted to make sure that I told you that I apologize for that. It was not on purpose. The month got away from me. So Ramadan is actually, I'm going out of order here, is a holy month in Islam where Muslims abstain from food and drink from dawn to sunset. It's a practice known as fasting. It also marks the month in which the Quran, Islam's holy book, is believed to have been revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. The Ramadan is a time for reflection, prayer, increased charity, and strengthening one's relationship with God. A very important holiday and a beautiful holiday. And normally we celebrate it with, or the last few years we have celebrated with the Metropolitan Police Department. And for whatever reason they didn't invite us, and then I forgot to talk about it last month. And just, you know, say a prayer for all that is going on for so many in the world. I think that's one of my jobs as a minister is to stay open to, first of all, when I make a mistake and own up to it, and secondly, open to all things and all people. That's kind of what I signed up for. And other people may feel differently about that, but I feel very strongly about it, so I wanted to acknowledge that. So let's move on to Palm Sunday. There's no crucifixion required for my my mistake. But Palm Sunday is this day where Jesus came came out. You know what I mean. Don't be silly. So he has this triumphal entry, and he describes in the Gospels where he comes out into, I keep saying that, where he's on this donkey, right? And people are greeting him with these palm branches. And it's a big, beautiful thing. And it starts the Holy Week. It's the beginning of Holy Week. And it also it leads up to Easter, which is where Christians remember Jesus' final days, including his suffering and crucifixion. So I'm not suffering because I believe the suffering is optional. And I'm not going to be crucified because y'all are beyond that. So yeah, it is a Holy Week. And I know, how many of you grew up with Easter Sunday being a big deal? Yeah, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. And where we are on, as far as that belief system, it's something that we celebrate here and that we choose to celebrate because Jesus is the master teacher. And we all have that potentiality within each of us to live into that role. See, not the crucifixion part, but the rest of it, right? And so that is the big deal about Palm Sunday. And it is sometimes misunderstood or really not mentioned in Science of Mind, which it seems a little silly that we would not mention that, but because so many people have come from a Christian background. So anyway, happy Palm Sunday. Happy Ramadan from last month. And let's just keep celebrating everyone. We all need that boost, don't we? Yes. We just need that. Especially in times when times are a little bit out of the norm. You know, in honor of the past, 35 days, Reverend Cheryl has been doing this, a spiritual practice, where she's reading from the book called 40 Days to Prosperity. It's written by Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis out of Seattle. And yesterday, particularly, it reminded me of something I want to say in my talk today. So yesterday was day 34. Only 5 more days, yay. And I can go back to my normal practice of not getting up and... Just kidding. So this is, if you know Kathy Ann, she's a big fan of Emma Curtis Hopkins, who was a teacher of teachers. She was Dr. Ernest Holmes' teacher. And so this is where she got this. It says, your prosperity will not be the highest prosperity. It will not be useful prosperity unless you know how to teach others to be prosperous. There must be a free giving of your truth, or the world may wait another 1,000,000 years for the wretched poverty of its people to be gone. And that's in the book Scientific Christian Mental Practice. And Kathy Ann's, her take on this was, this above statement is the reason I try to teach prosperity lessons at least once a year. I must admit, my life has prospered in many ways, so I think I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And the question here, which I really, really like, and I want you to think about, who can you help prosper today? Who can you help prosper today? And the affirmation, today I give freely of what works in my life. I help others prosper by sharing these lessons, my process, and my abundant life. Who can I help prosper today? Now, I don't necessarily mean it in just the material form, and we certainly need that, right? But in all ways. It has come to my attention that the next generation is set to inherit all the money. All the money, unless the boomers can figure out a way to take it with them, which they might. I just miss being a boomer, so I'm just kidding. But yeah, they are slated, this next generation, to inherit a lot of wealth. I have seen, and I think we've all seen kind of what wealth does without belief and values. Yes?
Yes. Gotcha.
And so, Reverend Cheryl planted a seed last week for each of us as older adults, or whatever you want to call ourselves. I saw somewhere it was called seenagers. I don't know what that means. Well, it's teenagers. Which teenagers, that was hard enough, so I'm a teenager, geez, that seems like a lot. But I believe that we have the ability, because we have experience and wisdom, to, as Reverend Cheryl was saying, to mentor those. To mentor those that are willing to listen. To mentor those that need a helping hand. To mentor those, even though when they have this money, what are you going to do with it? Just planting seeds. Not how maybe our parents drilled that into our brains and we rejected it, or we thought we had no other choice but to move into that direction, but in a way that might really benefit them. We are in a unique experience because we are living longer than ever before, and at least in the Western world, aging is really not thought much of. Have some of you noticed? Right? We don't think of our elders as they do in like Asian cultures. They're not necessarily looked upon as being respected and having all the wisdom. We have this ageism thing that's going on. And hopefully that shifts. We're getting used to people living longer. And what can we do to shift it is probably one of the things that we should look at. Because nothing has to shift out there. You can't fix the mirror. You have to start within. And so what is it that we can do to, first of all, allow ourselves to be heard and be seen by the younger generation? So that probably means not trying to drill something in someone's head. I don't know if it works for you. It did not work for me. I went the complete opposite direction as soon as I could. And some of you probably are of the same way, because I noticed that even though you celebrate Easter, Easter was a very Christian holiday for you, you're sitting here right now, which says something about maybe what you think about your religion, and it may not. Science of mind is not something where you need to give up something, but oftentimes it's like, well, I don't want that part, so I'm going to go over here. And so we might look at, how we might assist others into looking at life differently. I've looked at life from both sides, right? From where most of you are sitting right now, and from this side. And right now, today, as a matter of fact, is Reverend Cheryl and my 8th anniversary as ordained ministers. 8 years. I can't believe it, and in some aspects it feels like 80 years on any given day. And I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity and experience. And yet, some days it's difficult. It's difficult to be in charge of, well, I'm not in charge of, first of all, that's the first thing. I'm not in charge of any of you or anyone. And so when you relax into that, things get a little bit easier, right? Because I don't have to herd the butterflies, and if I do, that's going to be, there will be pushback. There may be crucifixion. It's not off the table. But I have to know my role and where my stance is and what I want to do to move CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, and particularly this community, forward. We had a leadership call the other day, and we have a new leadership group, so each of us was asked, we don't have to do anything, was asked to tell each other what our one thing is that we do well. Well, that's awfully hard sometimes when you're just kind of put on the spot, right? But I think that I'm a natural born connector, right? I connect dots in my brain. I make up all kind of stuff. It's probably not even true. But I connect people with people. When somebody has an issue, I'm kind of that agent that, well, this is the person you should speak with, right? I'm kind of that person. And I think I do that really, really well. And so that's what I came up with. If I ask you that question, do you know what you do well? What would you say? Do you know? Yeah? It's an interesting question. And see, here, the thing is after 8 years, my answer, I still have some of the same answers as far as what I do well and what I want to do as a minister, right? I signed up to create a world that works for all, which is turning out to be a little more difficult than I anticipated. In my mind, it was so clear and so easy, but we all don't have the same idea of what creating a world that works for all is. And we're very divided on that as an organization, so pray for that. But I think that it's safe to say that when signing up at CSL 10 years ago, 10 years? 11 years? I don't know, 11th year. Before becoming ordained, There's this idea of afflicting the comfortable and comforting the afflicted, right? And I'm pretty good at one of those or both of those on any given day, right? So those that are in pain and that are struggling, I'm good at comforting them, and yet I'm really better at the other P's. Well, have you thought about this? And this is your belief, and this is your stance, and what does that look like? And so that idea of allowing you to question yourself, because you don't owe me any explanation or an answer, but don't you owe yourself that? And for us to stay open to both sides, right? There's always another side. Do me a favor and just close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And if I ask you to look at the stage, actually, can you see beyond this stage? Can you see what maybe is beyond the parking lot? Can you see that next building? How about if I ask you a little further, can you see across to the next building? Can you see across the street? Can you see the trailer park beyond that? Can you see the mountains? How far is it that you can see? You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. But I think there are so many of us, so many times have such limitations in our vision. And I don't mean physically. I don't not mean physically, but I'm not particularly thinking about the physical aspect of not being able to see. But that idea of being envisioning a world that works for everyone or for all really requires looking beyond from where Kathy is to this stage. Because all of us in here probably have similar thoughts and viewpoints on a lot of things, correct?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying if you look across the street there that it would be any different. However, it would be a little different, right? They have, that's another church there. It's a different religious background. It's traditional Christianity. And I don't know what that looks like or that, and I don't know much about it at all. But what I'm saying is, to really stay open and curious is what, as Science of Mind ministers, we really encourage each of us to do, because we don't know our neighbors anymore. We're back in the day, my grandparents used to know their neighbors. We don't really know where people are coming from. We don't know what they've had to go through to get to where they are. We don't know if there are people that can see this wall and this teaching symbol and say, hey, that's cool, or look at it with disrespect and fear and hatred. So I think as a Science of Mind minister, one of my jobs is to stay open and stay curious and not shut down on that which people tend to see. Now that's hard if you only know people like us. Is it not? So how do we do that? How do we practice that? Because what we're looking at is probably a daily spiritual practice that allows us to align ourselves with a longer vision. That's hard work. I didn't sign up for that. They didn't tell me that when I signed that piece of paper to be a minister. Me being a minister has nothing to do with what is required for what I would be wanting to do for myself anyway. I think it's something that we all really would like to see us do. How can I stay open, stay curious, and stay mindful, and yet stay mindful of who I am in my journey? Because the horizon is not the end. And really, what we have to realize is that it's the journey. It's all about the journey, folks. How could this be a great journey for me? How can I make this a great journey for Raven, for Ira, Kathy, for each and every person? How can I make them look at their life as, it is a journey. We're not trying to get to the destination. We'll get there. But in the meantime, what is it that I can do to put my best foot forward and to teach those that might need a little bit of help? Because when I leave the planet, maybe I haven't created a world that works for all, but maybe I've created a world that works for all for one person. Maybe a family. And I don't necessarily mean your own family. I think that people think that that's a requirement. And I'm not saying that, it would be lovely. It would be lovely. It doesn't always work out. But what about the family next door? What about looking out for somebody other than somebody that has your same DNA, your same genes? What about if those are the seeds that we can start to plant so that the houselessness doesn't exist anymore? That there's health care for everyone. That there is food for everyone. That things are just a little bit easier than they are now. When I say a little, I'm really minimalizing that. Those are the things that I think by just giving people money who really have come up in a different time where it's all about separation and isolation. And it's all about me, and I don't mean any disrespect. As younger people, that's how we roll. Not we anymore. But that's how younger people, that's what we teach. And what we have been teaching our youth has really been about, do your thing. Well, Bobby doesn't want to make his bed. I'll just make the bed for Bobby. He doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't like to do chores. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to read. He doesn't really like reading. He likes to do math. So they don't do all of those things that we have probably unconsciously, maybe not grandparents, but unconsciously kind of have been teaching what's going to happen when they get the money. Will they look out for you? Will they look out for their community? Will they look out for their neighbors? I think those are the things that I'd like to see us plant seeds in. And we, because we're so kind as an organization, a little bit too kind sometimes. I don't mean that not in a negative way, but sometimes we're not taking care of ourselves as an organization. And so it's a both and. I look at life from both sides now. And I don't know what our answers are as a group as far as what we do to ensure that, first of all, that we're still here. I don't mean here, but I mean here at CSL. That doesn't mean not here. But anyway. But what is it that we do to give that heart that we have if we're not getting more people in the doors, if the more people aren't tuning in? It has to be individual, right? I notice that people, they will come up to me in the strangest places and ask me, do you work here? I'm like, I'm at Target. I'm not on red and beige. Can you help me find? And I don't, of course, do that. I think that it might show that sometimes. But I find it interesting in people in being comfortable in approaching me. And it's quite flattering, to be honest. And of course I help them if I can, or find someone to help them. I think many of us have that, where it's like, would you help me? You look like a nice person. I don't say all of that. You look like you're not going to bite my head off. But I think those are the things that sometimes we get kind of invited to plant seeds. Because whether it's they're asking for you to pick up the Tide off the shelf, they never ask me for that. First of all, I'm not that tall. But whether they're asking you to hand them down something, they might be open to hearing a little something that you might have to say. Something that your intuition guides you to say. Don't be nasty. Don't be like our grandmothers, some of our grandmothers. I guess just this past Monday, Reverend Cheryl and I had the opportunity to do a house blessing for someone. And it was in this high-rise in Turnberry Towers. And interestingly enough, what hit me was that idea of, if those of you that know where Turnberry Towers is, that location is not the greatest area if you're living there. I mean, no disrespect, it's just not a great area. It's not a, socioeconomically, it's not, the people don't have a lot of money that live there, and there's a lot of houselessness there too. And it's interesting that it's located there, because as I got on the elevator, and there's all this pomp and circumstance to get upstairs, and it wasn't my first time that I'd been there. But I thought about it on that elevator, and it's like, wow. The view's much different from up here. The view's much different. And the higher I went, the more I got to see. And the horizon looked a little bit differently. I find myself, I can adjust to that. I don't find myself very easily being able to adjust to the bottom floor. And so there's some work there, right? Because as a minister, if that's what I signed up for, I'm not here to just help out you lovely folks. And creating a world that works for all is the all, not the all that are in the room. What is it that is mine to do so that I can help them prosper? And it sounds almost like a hierarchy, and I don't mean it that way. Like they're doing badly and they need some help. And I don't mean it that way, but I think we all get the sense of what I'm meaning. What is it that I might do? Certainly I could say a prayer, but is there something else that Spirit would have me do to allow this one person, this group of people, to live a better life? To know that they are loved and they're loved. To feel that idea that there is no difference, there is no separation. I haven't come up with it yet. I did say a prayer, and I will always say a prayer. But it seems as though we're called to a different time now. We're really called to do different things. And yet we have no mental equivalent. And so I don't know what that looks like. And I've said this pretty much since late last year. What does it look like? What is mine to do? Right now, it's to stay open. Right now, it's to speak on Sundays about that which I'm called to speak about. Right now, it's to encourage those of you that do know what you want to do that. Interesting times. So when you see when those wealthy baby boomers come about, it will be interesting. Some of us will be here, some of us will have moved on. What will they do about the climate? What will they do about the plants and the animals that have been affected by the climate? Start planting those seeds. We talked about planting seeds last week. Plant the seeds that start digging up the soil of disbelief and lack and limitation, and know that those kids are brilliant. Much of them are many of them are much smarter than we are. And I don't mean that in any sort of way, but in a different type of way, they're just absolutely brilliant. But we have to give them, this is what we need for you and your kids and your grandchildren to be okay. Let's not just give them the blank checkbook. Life is a journey, not the destination. And we know here at Science of Mind that our souls are eternal and we're immortal. So we don't have to worry about, we're going to go to hell or whatever that kind of thing looks like. But we do have to worry about creating more hell and not enough heaven. So that's what I'm working on. Looking at the wrong book. There's a short story that I wanted to share with you here. A farmer had a small plot of land that he had worked tirelessly to maintain. One year, a great storm came, and the winds were so strong that the farmer thought he might lose everything. His crops, his animals, his livelihood, all seemed lost. In despair, he went to an old sage. Are there any young sages? Anyway, at the edge of the village. The sage listened and then said, "Go home and look at the storm from the top of the hill." Confused, the farmer obeyed. He climbed the hill and looked down at his land, his farm, and the raging storm below. As he watched, the storm passed, and in its wake, he saw something incredible. The floodwaters that had once threatened to ruin his crops now nourished the soil. The winds had scattered seeds, and the rain had fertilized the earth. The sage's words echoed in his mind. Sometimes what seems like a disaster is only a necessary change that allows new life to emerge. Look beyond the storm, and you will see the potential for growth. The farmer learned that looking beyond immediate hardships can reveal hidden blessings. He saw that every challenge carried the seeds of a new beginning. Each of us have those seeds that are unique and individual to each of us. Let's plant those seeds and see them already fully manifested. I love and appreciate you all, and so it is.
Thank you, Rev. That was incredible. A teenager.
I just think you're more like a teenager. No, fortunate. Are you kidding? Oh, gosh, hold on a second. Sorry. This newfangled
iPad.
We're a teenager.
I am a teenager. Oh my God, it's crazy. I thought I had it saved and now I didn't.
What an incredible song this is, too. It's from The Greatest Showman. I have that right, The Greatest Showman. Ooh. Got all verklempt the other day watching this video. If you haven't seen it, you must see it. At least this song is about the bearded lady. And it is, it's unbelievable. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say. We don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break them down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. We are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. 'Cause I'm marching on to a beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. Yeah, that's what we are. That's what we've become. I won't let them break me down, 'cause I know that there's a place for us. And we are glorious. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. Gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I'm not scared, I'm not bruised. This is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. Look out, 'cause here I come, yeah. I'm marching on, I'm marching on. No apologies, this is me. Marching on, yeah. Oh yeah, to the beat I drum. I make no apologies, this is me.
Such a great song.
I'd like to ask the ushers to please come forward. This is our opportunities for giving and receiving. All right. Powerhouse Patty. You would please take your gift in your hand and say the affirmation on the screen with us. And we're going to say it slower than normal. From the love of pure spirit within me, I am blessed this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I'm grateful for each and every gift and each and every tithe. I'm grateful for the opportunity to plant that seed of love, that seed of giving and receiving. And I'm just grateful for it all. And so it is. So it is.
Gotta believe. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, what? It is mine. It has to. I hear you. I do believe, come on, I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Come on, anything I want, it is mine. Come on, perfect health, yes, it is mine. Joy and peace, oh yes, it is mine. Love, 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 it is mine. If it serves my highest good, hey, then it is mine.
Oh, you know those words pretty good.
Well, our women's group with Reverend Audra is going to be meeting after service here in the multipurpose room. So if you're a woman, that's where you need to be. Okay, and then practitioner Jamie Jetty, as always, is having her Life Reflection Cafe tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here. Spiritual living for connection, conversation, and reflection. I almost said conversion. We don't want to do that. Conversation, not conversion. Okay. That's another church, yeah. That's the one you were talking about before that you don't know anything about. Okay, I got it. Our practitioners' midweek uplift is the first and third Wednesdays of the month, and so the next one is this Wednesday on April 16th at 6 p.m. and until just 45 minutes. So if you want to hop on Zoom for that, that's really a wonderful time to do this because we're going to be studying 5 different essays, 1 page each. We can do this in like 15 minutes if you can believe it. I mean, it's pretty interesting. And then the prayer and the meditation, it's really wonderful. So see the happenings table so you know how to join. And then the Mind and Body Community Expo is being held this Saturday, the 19th, and Reverend Stacy's going to come up and tell us a little bit more about it. I'm very excited about it. There's going to be a panel and all kind of, anyway, it's going to be great. She'll tell you.
Well, I won't tell you that much because I don't know that much, but we are being sponsored by Walker Insurance Advisors. There's Jerome and Sheila right there. And yeah, they actually did our senior prom. And now we moved on from senior prom, and now we're having a full-fledged expo. So, so we've graduated on to the next thing. But we're going to have some food. We're going to have some music. We're going to have lots of information about health and wellness, and you will be able to talk to people. There will be a panel where there will be, I think, 5 panelists that we will be able to ask questions to that work in the health and wellness field. And there's just going to be a lot of good information, and I think us teenagers probably need. So please make sure that you sign up. And there hasn't been a sign-up sheet, but please sign up. If you just write your name down and your email address, I will make sure that you get signed up so that they have your information so we know how many people to expect. Okay? So I will see you there in just a couple hours next Saturday. And yeah, it'll be fun and informational.
That's right. I will be there. Okay. Ira, would you like to come up and talk about what's taking place for Easter Sunday?
Sure. Next Sunday is a joint service. It's a 10 a.m. service. There'll be some sandwiches from the men's group afterwards at noon. We have it just came about since Tuesday.
Just for the men?
Well, for everyone. Yes, you got it. It's sponsored by the men's group, but we have a concert, and I don't have a flyer. Well, don't have a flyer printed up yet. I don't have a registration link, but we will have a concert here with Michelle and John and Patty and Dave. If you don't have a gig, come by. And I'd like to have dueling keyboards. That would be cool. We've got to do that. But yeah, we got to be out of here by, we're aiming to cut the music at 1:15 and really clean up by 1:30 because we have a third church for another source of income. The tickets will be $20 each, but we won't turn anyone away. And bring some people. And I know a lot of people have to leave, but if you can stay, hey.
Is this on Easter Sunday we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Easter Sunday. Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure you knew. I was helping you. Nice.
I'm a good straight man.
You, Ira. Okay.
Making sure that is something.
Okay. This is next Sunday, everybody. Next Sunday, 10 a.m. Okay, to be here.
We're having communion too.
You have what?
We are having communion as part of the service.
Oh, part of the service is going to be Holy Communion as well. I have not done that in a long time.
We haven't done it this way at all.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's see. I'm losing my place. Okay, here we go. Peace of mind planning for an elegant exit from your life class. What? Yeah, from your body, from your life class is being facilitated by Marilyn Kirk and Rio Grande at CSL. Her life work is to promote the physical, emotional, and spiritual health of all. So the class is going to be held weekly, Tuesdays, beginning April 22nd to May 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. Membership is not required, and the registration is just $125. And it says that LVCSL will receive $30 from that registration as well. So that's wonderful. We also have a class coming up. Mary Jo, do you want to raise your hand? Mary Jo Clark is teaching a class called, it's going to be like a workshop class called 88 Universal Laws. And she's having 2 offerings for this class. One is Wednesday evenings, and the other one is Thursday mornings. So you've got 2 choices to sign up on the worksheet back there for either one of those 2. And let's see, the daytime one is from 10 until 12, and the evening one is from 6 until 8. And this class is an 8-week non-credited, you don't get credit for it, but you'll get your own credit. And it's $10 a week, and it's of course right here. So look for the sign-up sheet. That starts on the 24th, and then 2 days after that, or 2 days after that, we have Reverend Franny's class, The Power of Decision. And her class, part of what she's asking you to think about is rising to the level of your goals and desires. This is one of the questions you're going to get answered. Directing your life from conscious awareness, and living your best life now. Those are the 3 things she's really going to concentrate on this class. This class is actually, let's see here, how many weeks is it? 10? 8. It's 8 weeks. And it's just $135 for that time. And again, it will be here on Saturday mornings from 9:30 until noon. And it is a credited class, so you will get credit for this one if you're looking for credit, okay? And then, of course, our Love Supply and Pantry is ongoing, so when you're shopping, be sure to pick up, food that's non-perishable, and let anyone know that we do have food here that you feel might be food insecure. And for prayer support, just send your prayer request to prayer@lasvegascsl.org or text 702-524-7096. And of course, our bookstore is open. The lilies, we need to buy this is our last chance to buy lilies in memory or in honor of someone. And they're $12, and you buy them at the bookstore. And, there's a form to fill out, so that you can put your name, who it's from, and who it's for. It can be for you if you want to honor yourself even. So, and then follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit our website. Check out the happenings table for all these things you need to sign up for. And Patty Powers is going to be singing tomorrow evening at Tuscany, 7 to 9. So come join Patty tomorrow evening.
Yeehaw!
She would love that. Yeehaw is
Come on down.
the name of the game.
7 to 10:30.
7 to 10:30.
Yeah.
And there's no charge either.
No charge, no.
She's free.
I charge a little, but no.
Okay, everybody, let's have a happy Palm Sunday.
Thank you. You too.
All right, I'd like to ask the practitioners to surround the room. Kathy probably isn't going to come in here, but, the minister of prayer, sorry. Oh, and the ministers who are in the room, please come and surround the room. And I'd like us to just do a little chamber prayer, because next week is Easter, and even though we're celebrating a version of Jesus, she's not going to, it's Easter Sunday, we're not going to be talking about Kathy, so let's send her a little send-off prayer in advance, knowing that she is safe, she is loved, and that we know only the best for her. So, all right, let's just do a chamber prayer.
All right.
And so it is. Let's stand and sing our peace song.
Loved ones all are we.
this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Have a great week, everyone.
Come on.